Done this before. It tips the balance, in the jury's mind perhaps, in favor of her testimony and against his.
Under Florida law, it is difficult for an alleged rape victim's sexual past to be admitted as evidence. Today's new allegations against William Smith may be an attempt by the prosecution to make it impossible. Bob Jamieson, ABC News, New York.
And a spokesman for Senator Edward Kennedy issued this statement late this afternoon. Senator Kennedy continues to believe that when this case is decided, Willie Smith will be found innocent. In Los Angeles today, the police chief, Daryl Gates, has agreed to step down. The decision comes nearly 5 months after Los Angeles police officers were caught on videotape beating a black motorist named Rodney King. Here's ABC's Judy Muller.
It had become not a question of if, but when. Today, Daryl Gates said when.
Given the uncertain timeline, I've selected the month of April 1992 as the month I will retire.
An emotional Chief Gates announced his decision via videotape for this afternoon's police roll call.
I will have proudly served the people of this city for 42 and a half years. Honored for the last 14 years to lead the most effective, the most committed, and the most honorable group of police officers and civilian personnel to be found in any police department in the world.
Chief Gates has been under increasing pressure to resign ever since an independent commission called on him to do just that.
In many regards, it's an impressive department. Just got out of hand because the chief let discipline go down the tube.
Gates' announcement comes amid a new controversy over his behavior. Reports that officers who had criticized the chief in testimony before the commission have been punished on the job. Assistant Chief David Dotson, for one, who was stripped of his command as head of the Internal Affairs Division. He was later reinstated by the Police Commission and is now considered a possible candidate to replace Gates. Now that Gates has made official his intention to resign, the search for a replacement can begin. And while Gates promised an orderly transition, he couldn't resist today a parting shot at one of his major critics, Mayor Tom Bradley. Gates said that throughout this ordeal, quote, the political leadership has been a total abysmal failure. Judy Muller, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And another story about California police tonight and the privacy of people with AIDS. The police in Union City near San Francisco are under fire for keeping a list of people known to carry the virus and passing the information on to officers sent out on routine assignments. Here's ABC's Ken Kashiwahara.
2 Adam 2011-95.
Union City police admit that a dispatcher used the police radio to advise patrol units that a possible suspect was infected with the HIV virus. The information was stored in the police computer and picked up by a newspaper reporter listening to a police scanner. While they have temporarily suspended the practice, police officials say they are concerned for their officers' safety.
They were going to the call of a violent fight, and you never know what you're going to run onto in that kind of a call. But it's just simply another piece of information that they have.
I think it's outrageous, and I think it's very unnecessary and a gross violation of people's privacy.
Union City is not the only city that informally kept track of people infected with the HIV virus. According to the American Civil Liberties Union, about a dozen other police and fire departments did so too. The ACLU says many of the cities kept lists of HIV-infected residents, but abandoned the practice when ACLU lawyers threatened to sue for invasion of privacy. Officials are uncertain how many other police and fire departments keep such lists.
My greatest fear is that by actually keeping lists, they will frighten people into staying away from public health, to staying away from testing.
Meanwhile, Union City police officials are waiting for a legal opinion from the state attorney general before deciding whether to abandon the practice permanently or resume it. Ken Kashiwahara, ABC News, Union City, California.
When we come back, another major bank merger, this time in the South.
Pain from just one sensitive tooth can start the domino effect. Pain can make you stop brushing, lead to plaque buildup, gingivitis, periodontal disease, even tooth loss. Sensodyne toothpaste helps stop the pain and the domino effect.
This is the sound of Unisom, the sound of sleep. With Unisom, you hit your pillow and fall asleep fast. Tonight, you can sleep more soundly with Unisom, America's #1 sleep aid.
When minor arthritis pain holds you back, you need strong medicine. Bengay with not just one, but 2 pain relievers. Warming power for fast relief. Bengay helps get you going again. Bengay, fast, strong medicine for pain relief.
You know, for a second there, I thought it was 20 years ago. You up with the sun and the farm and that yellow box. Since when did you start eating Cheerios again?
Look what's in there, Dad.
Whole grain oats with all the oat bran. Grow up to Cheerios.
When you get gas pain, which would you choose? Your antacid or Gas-X, the tablet made for gas pain? It's extra strength, 100% simethicone to get rid of gas faster than your antacid. Fight gas right with Gas-X.
Now's the time for Centrum Silver, because you're over 50 and you're out there swinging. Centrum Silver, a complete vitamin formula for your changing nutritional needs. Centrum Silver, it's a great time to be silver.
2 more major American banks have decided that bigger is better. Last week, 2 New York giants, chemical and manufacturers Hanover, agreed to merge to create the 2nd largest bank in the country. And today, from the South, NCNB has agreed to combine with C&S Sovereign to form what will be the country's 3rd largest bank. Here's ABC's Stephen Ogg.
Just last year, Citizens and Southern merged with Sovereign to create a huge super-regional bank that blankets the Southeast. Now, NCNB, another huge regional bank, is going to acquire C&S Sovereign. The new institution, calling itself Nations Bank, will have branches from Baltimore, Maryland to El Paso, Texas. Potentially 1 out of 4 Americans could be its customers.
The company we are creating, Nations Bank, gives our region a new force, a bank with a Southern accent and a truly national influence.
Banks merge to save money by combining branches and back-office operations like computer systems. Combined, they also have greater financial resources.
They can afford to invest in bigger paper processing factories, buy the more advanced technology, and be able to lower their unit costs for processing checks and charges and loans.
For consumers, mergers can mean more convenience because the newly merged bank operates in more locations. But they can also cause consumers problems.
They are at risk for changes. The interest rate can be raised, the line of credit can be reduced, their credit cards and lines of credit can even be canceled.
And there's less competition after a merger. There are fewer banks to choose from. Still, the U.S. has more than 12,000 banks. So even if there's less competition, there's still someplace else to go. Stephen Ogg, ABC News, Washington.
A bidding war has begun for what's left of Pan American World Airways. Earlier this month, Delta offered to buy Pan Am's Northeast Shuttle and most of its European operations for $260 million. Today, TWA and American offered even more, $310 million. A bankruptcy judge will decide who gets what. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrials lost about 3 points today to close at 3012. The trading was moderate. In a moment, a warning to teenagers. Turn down the volume on those personal stereos.
It feels to me always like someone's banging on my knuckles with a hammer. It's really uncomfortable.
Today, it isn't aspirin, it's Advil for minor arthritis pain.
Advil just really helps with the pain. It makes it go away. The Advil caused me no upset stomach.
Over 100 million people have tried Advil for many types of pain.
That means to me it must work, and it also means it must be safe, and those are 2 things that I'm interested in.
Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
Mr. Phipps. Freddie, if you want to do pretzels again, fine, but I think they need a little work.
Mr. Phipps.
They could be lighter, crispier somehow. You follow me?
Mr. Phipps.
Wait. I've got an idea. What's the tastiest part of the pretzel?
The crispy outside.
No, the crispy outside. So what if we created a pretzel that only has an outside, sort of a chip? A chip you could dip. Get it?
Got it.
Now, what can we call them?
Mr. Phipps pretzel chips.
Great name.
It melts, it pours, it cooks just right. Less fat, great taste, Velveeta light. So rich, so smooth is every bite. That's why you'll love Velveeta light. All this exquisite taste and looks and mountability. It's got 1/3 less fat and low cholesterol. Cook with a lighter look tonight. With new Velveeta light.
Red Lobster announces great new trios. 6 delicious trios you're gonna love.
Terrific.
Like our large butterfly shrimp, lobster Alfredo, and scallops.
Love it.
Or our crab legs, juicy scallops, and shrimp.
Let's go.
But hurry, our great new trios won't last long.
Red Lobster for the seafood lover in you.
Try the trio with the unbeatable price. Our Atlantic Trio, just $6.99.
$6.99? That's incredible.
A warning about personal stereos, everything from boom boxes to those tiny units with headsets. 21 million of them will be sold this year alone, yet the House Committee on Children was told today that they may be causing serious hearing problems for millions of young people. Here's ABC's Bill Greenwood.
The problem seems to be everywhere. But boom boxes are not the only offenders. A seemingly silent Walkman